Well, one Labor MP is backing community concerns about a proposal to allow factories and manufacturers to burn their waste and to make energy. It's often called waste to energy. It can happen with, waste also from just your normal bins as well. The plan is part of a New South Wales government's review into its waste to energy policy, and public consultation is open until mid-May. Community groups are outraged about the health risks to incinerators could cause, and local member for Kingsford Smith, Matt Thistlethwaite, has written to the Energy Minister to echo their concerns. Melinda Wilson is from one of those groups, Western Sydney Direct Action. She joins us now. Morning, Melinda.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
No problem. So explain, at the moment, there's kind of a lot of restrictions, which means it's very unlikely that we'd see these waste incinerators built in the Sydney area. Are you saying that there's a proposal to change this?
Yes, there currently is amendments to the the energy to waste framework that would allow any company that is using LNG or gas to actually switch over and start using an incinerator to power their operations instead. So that's quite concerning, very concerning for the community.
Okay, so
for anyone that puts their living in one of those facilities.
So it's not that somebody could, for instance, I know there were proposals in Western Sydney to build a waste to energy plant where your rubbish, your curbside rubbish will be taken and burnt to create energy. It's not that kind of proposal. It would have to be somewhere where there's already something that's using gas to burn stuff. Is that the difference?
Well, that's part of it. That whole policy, just let's be clear here, the community isn't asking for an extension to this policy. We don't want more time to review something that should never be going ahead in the first place. We're calling for a complete moratorium, a full pause on all waste to energy incineration projects across New South Wales and across Australia. Like, you really have to wonder what on earth the New South Wales government is thinking with these proposed changes. They're pushing ahead with a dangerous plan to expand incineration across the state based on information that's not true. Back in 2020, the New South Wales EPA asked the chief scientist to review the energy from waste framework. That review, backed by Sydney's University's Associate Dean Professor Ali Abbas, claimed the policy met EU best standards. But let's be clear here, it doesn't. The current framework, before any amendments, fell short on key pollutants.
So Melinda, just in terms of that, I understand, and thank you for telling us the background there. What is your main concern as a community group if it comes to burning waste to energy? And a big part of this, I know one thing that's not looked at. For instance, in Perth, they just built a waste to energy plant. They did not even assess the CO2 that came from it, which obviously, from a climate perspective, is terrible because you're burning plastics, which create CO2. Is your concern more on a health front? What's your main concern?
Well, the main concern is that they shouldn't be anywhere in Australia.
No, I understand, but what's your concern? What leads you to that concern? Are you concerned about the health aspect of it?
Yes, it is the health perspective.
So what is your concern?
Definitely the health perspective.
And what
there
health?
are so many reports out there that have stated, that this kind of technology causes cancer clusters. This kind of technology, is being phased out across Europe, across the rest of the world, but stupidly here in Australia, we want to start this back up. They struck down the Waterloo incinerator because people protested from the moment it opened to the moment it shut. Why are they bringing it back? It's still the same technology. Nothing's changed.
Melinda,
nothing has changed.
Melinda, a lot of waste to energy has been used in Europe for many years without creating cancer clusters. If it's run properly, it can take out. Obviously, it can create carcinogens, but it can take those things out.
No, that's not right.
Okay,
that's not right.
That's your opinion.
It's either you can't disappear waste. You either make toxic air or you make toxic ash. And, the only difference in the incinerators these days is they've got huge filtration systems where it actually comes out. But still, those filters you need to get rid of those filters. Those filters are then full of all those dioxins and things like that. Now, what happens to that thing? It goes back into landfill, exactly like the waste, exactly like the ash. We are not solving the problem. We are creating a bigger one.
And so have you spoken to the government?
The regulations that went through when our incinerator in Western Sydney was said, we're not going to put this through, we're not going to let people suffer, because Western Sydney, a local health district, warned that a single incinerator could increase hospital admissions and even cause death from heart and lung disease. That's what they said in 2017. Then in 2018, the Independent Planning Commission rejected that same incinerator, citing serious concerns about air quality, water safety and public health. And let's be very clear, incineration is banned in Canberra just because of those health and environmental risks. So how is it suddenly being pushed as the answer for powering industry across New South Wales and powering manufacturing? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Thank you, Melinda, for your perspective. And we did ask for Penny Sharp and the EPA to come on to get their perspective on this, but we will. They couldn't come on today. We will try and find out later on. And as I said, this potential review has also been looked at with some concern by Labor MP Matt Thistlethwaite, who's written to Penny Sharp in New South Wales. These concerns that it might bring to a waste-to-energy facility in the Kingston Smith area. So it's not just Western Sydney, but thank you again, Melinda Wilson, for your talk.
Fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! City and country stand united! City and country stand